Well, hey there. This is not the episode I thought I'd be recording for this week, but I really feel we need to talk about this. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Intuitive Eating Mama podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer D'Amato. I am an intuitive eating counselor, and I'm also a mom to four. This podcast is not just for mamas, it's for all women who are ready to ditch diets, ditch the scale and food guilt forever, and instead invite peace with food, increase their body trust, and confidence in all of her choices. I believe this show is going to shed some light on sneaky ways diet culture has infiltrated your thoughts, your family, and your well-being. No matter the episode, I want you to walk away feeling informed, inspired, and encouraged. So whether you're taking a walk, washing the dishes, or carting kids around, let's dive into the latest episode on the Intuitive Eating Mama podcast. All right, I just want to be really upfront. I don't really watch the news at all. It really is like a way to save my mental and emotional health from a complete breakdown. So in general, I don't watch a lot of news, but I have amazing clients. I have amazing followers on Instagram. And between the two, I had people messaging me about the news that Weight Watchers doesn't even believe their own diet works. Now, listen, is that the title of the article? No, of course not. Why would they position themselves that way? If you haven't heard, Weight Watchers purchased another company. I mean, this is business dealings all the time, like, okay, no big deal. Except the company they purchased is selling diabetic medication for weight loss. So how can we not conclude that Weight Watchers doesn't even believe in their own program? Weight Watchers, which has been around for, I want to say forever, obviously it's not, but I really can remember it almost my entire life. I'm in my 40s, so it's been around for a while. Yes, it's gone through different iterations. It's had different spokespeople. It's, tried to modify their positioning like, we're not really a diet. Bull, malarkey, poo. You are. We've known that. But now what they're saying is, we're going to have a way to send our members to someone who can give them this drug, this medication, and lose weight. Because our program probably isn't enough. Our program doesn't actually work for them. Can you see how this is like an indirect admittance of a lie? They've been selling this program for so long as something that is sustainable, something that gets results, something that works. And they have positioned themselves now as the opposite. I already knew it. You probably knew it too. I have talked to so many women where they have just been, back and forth with Weight Watchers, back and forth, because it doesn't work. Of course, that's not how you feel when you're the one buying into their program. Like, well, I didn't work. I didn't follow it enough. I stopped. I had a client a couple years ago. She said she had done Weight Watchers like forever, like so many years. She was in her 60s. And so you can imagine she had been in and out of it, tried it. And she said, you know what, Jen, I find really interesting. Weight Watchers worked while I was on it. But if I stop, it doesn't work. I gain everything back and of course, and then some. She goes, it only works when you're doing it. It was a light bulb moment for her, and she couldn't quite yet see that they were the problem, but this was kind of the opening of that door. It doesn't work because we do believe we don't have enough willpower. We're not strong enough. I can't stick with this. I'm the problem. Except even Weight Watchers is telling you, yeah, this doesn't really work. Now, we have a whole other slew of problems with this medication. We have the fact that it's being taken away from those who need it. Inflated cost, limited supplies for diabetics. That actually is who the medication is for. I believe it was 2017. That's who it was approved for. It wasn't until 2021 that this was approved. You should see my air quotes. Approved to be prescribed for weight loss. And you're supposed to meet certain requirements, though I can tell you, I'm really not believing any of it. I have said now for like months, I'd love to meet one of the doctors prescribing this for weight loss. Because I really feel like if you're going to do no harm, how can you be okay with, number one, taking it away from those who need it? Number two, knowing the end result. Not while you're on it, but when you go off. It's the same thing. It literally is going to have the same, if not worse, negative consequences after going off. Going to gain the weight back. Going to have shot your metabolism to hell. Going to feel terrible about yourself. Most people will gain even more weight back. And then what is that doing to your self-esteem? What is that doing to your confidence? What is that doing to your belief about yourself and your body? I can tell I am fired up. I'm sure it's coming out that way, but I feel it in my body. I have said for a while, I was talking during coffee chat, which I do every Wednesday in my private community after the podcast comes out on Tuesdays. If you're not there, head into the show notes, come join us. Last week, I was talking about this whole idea of this medication and Weight Watchers and what they're doing. It appears we learned nothing from fen-phen. Do you remember fen-phen? Do you remember this drug that was supposed to, be the best cure? Cure for weight loss, right? You're going to lose all this weight. And then the side effects, and then the heart issues, and then the weight regain. It's like we just have this selective memory. It didn't work. There's a reason also it was pulled off the market. There is no pill that is like the answer. And unfortunately, what's going to happen is the men and women who are on this medication, if at some point, which most likely they will, whether it's financially, whether it's, I'm feeling really good, I've changed all these things about myself and I've lost all this weight, so I'm going to go off the medication, they're going to go off. They're going to stop taking it. And then what? And then who's there for them? Is that doctor who prescribed that medication there for them? There for them emotionally? There for them when they mentally break down? I've only read one article, and I really believe there's others out there, but I happen to have only read one of somebody who's a little bit more on the famous side, if you will, who has, I think, like TikTok influencer, honestly. I guess that's famous now. But she talked about, going on, going off, and what happened to her body, to her emotionally, to her mentally, like wrecked her. And yet we're just walking along with what seems to be this oblivious acknowledgement that this does not work. It really actually is the same thing as Weight Watchers. It only works when you're on it. That is so true. So I think our takeaway from all of this really can be Weight Watchers is admitting their program doesn't work. This is really the takeaway I'm taking from this. Weight Watchers, without probably acknowledging what they've done, they might be now because the backlash is a-coming. They're acknowledging our program doesn't work. And I want that to give you a sense of relief and hope. Because the reality is the diets don't work. I know it kind of sucks to hear that because you've probably given so much of your time, energy, money, all the things to the dieting. And probably not just one or one time. But the truth is, if all diets were honest, they'd say, oh yeah, we totally work at the beginning. We probably peter out. And then if you stop, oh yeah, you're screwed. Like that would be honest. And that really runs across the board. I am a macro counter dieter. That's what I did. I thought I had found the answer. I thought I had found the non-diet. Like this is a lifestyle. You know what? Anything that restricts is a diet. Anything that limits, cuts things out is a diet. Anything that requires the exercise to burn off, that's a diet. You don't even have to be on a diet to be dieting. And wellness culture has done a really good job of that. So much so, diet culture is like trying to hop on the wellness culture train, even though they're a diet. It's just, lipstick on a pig and then some. It's just so toxic. It's why when you leave, you never, ever want to go back. It doesn't mean like all of your body image issues are healed. It doesn't mean you automatically feel okay. But when you leave, you don't want to go back. And that's what I hear from my clients, like again and again. Like I'm still struggling with some things about food. I'm still kind of working through my body image issues, but I am never going back on Weight Watchers. I am never going to diet again. I will continue to work through this process to heal my relationship with food, but I'm just never going to diet again, even if I know I'm not where I want to be yet. That is so amazing. I relate to it. I've lived it. I walk it. And now I walk alongside women who are doing the same thing. Because diets don't work. But you can feel like, well, what do I do? Now, I'll let you know before I hop off of here because I am still like, my whole body's having a reaction. I almost need to like shake it off of me when I'm done recording. This has been woo. But I actually am announcing on Instagram. Hopefully you're hanging out with me there, or you're in my private community on Facebook, like both those places. I am actually announcing I decided to create a masterclass. You may know this about me. I am a teacher. I taught 5th grade for years, so the teacher in me really does come out. I love teaching, but I definitely feel like called to teach on this topic. So I created this masterclass, and it is really for you if you do everything you can to keep the chips and the cookies and the pizza and all the things out of the house and then feel out of control around those foods. It's definitely for you if every Sunday you start feeling stressed about what you're supposed to be doing for your health. This masterclass is also for you if, you try to be good, that's in air quotes, all day with your eating, but by the end of the day, you feel unsatisfied, you feel out of control around food, and you feel like, well, I just can't stop snacking. This masterclass is for you, how to stop overeating without going on another diet. So it's a 60-minute masterclass. I'm putting the finishing touches on everything while I'm recording this. I've been just kind of tweaking it. You'll learn how to gain control around those quote unquote bad foods and remove food guilt so that you can ditch that whole diet starts tomorrow mentality. Now, if for some reason you don't do Instagram or Facebook, you're not part of my private community, you're like, listen, I just don't do any of the social media, I am actually going to include my email in the show notes. Please feel free to reach out and be like, hey, Jen, could you please send me the info on the masterclass? I'm really interested. And I will make sure to get you hooked up with that. What's really great is you'll have lifetime access to the class. I mean, why not? You might want to come back to it. Again, there'll be a lot of teaching. Bring your notebook, bring a pen. I'm so tired of diets lying. I really am. And even when the truth is coming out, you think they're going to own it. Oh, heck no. Weight Watchers will somehow, circle this around to something like they're actually helping people. Lies, more lies. Anyway, I hope this was enlightening. And maybe you feel that same fire I do where you're just like, come on, like, let's speak some truth. I know I feel like I'm asking a lot of diet culture. But I'm here to speak the truth, always, forever. Like I'm going to call out the lies and the bull malarkey poo. I'm pretty sure that's the right phrase of diet and wellness culture. All right. Be sure to contact me. Let me know if you want more information on the masterclass that is being held here in March. And I look forward to coming right back here next week.